Welcome to today's yoga workshop. We are going to be focusing in this workshop on shoulder mobility and binds. If you happen to have a yoga strap, it might come in handy for you today. If you don't have a yoga strap, you could modify the pose, and I'll show you how to do that, or you could use a belt or even a dish towel would suffice in today's practice. I'm going to put my strap just down to the side to begin with. We are going to start with a little bit of warming up of the shoulder joint. Our shoulder joint is a ball and socket joint, just like our hips. But unlike the hips, it has a short or a shallow articulation where the humerus sits in a part of the scapula. And so we have all of these muscles, all this muscle and connective tissue that holds our upper arm bone into the scapular joint, the glenohumeral joint, it's called. And so we're going to be feeling into those muscles. The muscles that cross over the shoulder include the rotator cuff muscles. So you can think about a cuff, right, that keeps the humerus in alignment and prevents dislocation of the shoulders. So we're going to start by just simply coming into mountain pose and engaging your low belly, tucking your tail, and becoming very strong and firmly rooted. You could bend your knees just a little bit. You don't ever want to lock out the knees. And then we're going to bring our hands onto the tops of the shoulders, and we're going to draw circles with the point of the elbow. So just letting your arm move in one direction, your arms moving around. See if you can really focus on getting your full range of motion. And then let's take it the other direction, other way around. Breathing in and out through the nose. One more time around. Okay. We're going to take the arms out, and I want you to feel as if when you're moving up that I would like you to feel into the sensation, possible sensation of there being a little bit of compression at this point with your arms straight up. So some of shoulder mobility actually has to do with scapular movement on the back of the body. So let's just lift one arm up, right? And if I feel like I might not be able to get it up any further, it might be that I need to pull my shoulder blade down and then move my arm up. So that movement of the shoulder blade is what gives us our full range of motion. So you could bring the other arm up, maybe feel a little bit of compression where the humerus is touching the acromial process of your scapula, and then lifting it up. And then let's just notice here in this pose whether or not we can depress our shoulders and move the scapula down the back of the body. You might find that your arms are out here, and that is just fine. But eventually we want to be able to get the arms straight beside the head, beside the ears, and then engage the low belly and root down. Okay, taking a deep breath in, let's bring the arms back down. We're going to do a movement where we're going to open the back body and then open the front body. So let's just bring our shoulders together towards the front and then pull them back. So we do a little bit of this when we do our spinal rolls, maybe, right? So just moving the scapula alongside the back body. Breathing. Opening up the front of the chest, opening up the back of the heart. Oh, this feels really good to me in this moment. One more time, pulling it forward, and then bring it back. Okay, we're going to take a wide stance and we're going to come into cactus arms. So you could take your feet so that they turn out, and then we're going to reach our arms up out to the sides, maybe at a slight angle. And then as we come down, we're going to draw the elbows down and then up. So cactus arms here, breathing, tailbone tucked under, engaging your low belly. You could look up and then look down. One more time after this one. Okay. Let's bring our arms in front and let's hold on to opposite elbows. We're going to take our feet out so that we have a wide stance. And then I just want you to circle your elbows around. So it's almost like a rectangle that you're circling around here. You could soften your knees a little bit in one direction, and then let's bring it the other direction. Beautiful. Okay, let's release that. We're going to take one arm back behind us. And then I just want you to grab onto the wrist with the other arm. So you'll note that you might actually feel, for me, it's actually a greater sensation in the arm that is going down like this and grabbing around. So feeling, you could pull that elbow in of that hand that is grabbing the one in the back. And then opening the chest and relaxing your shoulders down away from your ears. And then we're going to switch sides. You could release that. Other arm, grab with the other hand, and then feel, maybe pull back a little bit with that elbow that's of the arm that's grabbing the wrist, and feel into that. Okay, let's take a deep breath in and exhale back and down the arms. You could give your arms a little shake, a little shimmy. You could even bring that shimmy into the wrists. You could even bring a little bounce into your body, soft knees, bouncing. This is good for your connective tissue, for your fascia, muscle fascia. Okay, let's bring it back to center. So I wanted to point out that we have done a bind where we wrap our hands around, we interlace our fingers, and we actually kind of pull the hands apart and squeeze the shoulder blades together. If this is too much for you, you could always try maybe wrapping the elbows around the back of the body, just like we did, but with both elbows. So then opening up the shoulders, depressing the shoulder blades, relaxing your shoulders down. This could be one option. You could try interlacing the fingers a different way, and then try this one where you squeeze your shoulder blades together and open up the front of the chest. Breathing. And then release. So shoulder strength is really good because it helps to stabilize our shoulder joints, keeping our arms from becoming dislocated from the shoulder joint. But once if we get really heavy, if we get like really muscles, a lot of muscles on the top half of our body, then we lose some mobility. And so we want to make sure that we keep the mobility as we build strength. So mobility is just as important as strength. Another option for the hands interlaced behind the back is to just bring your palms of your hands, fingertips down. That might be kind of challenging for your wrists and your forearms, but feel into then drawing your elbows back. How does that feel compared to the other option of grabbing your elbows or interlacing your fingers and pulling in this position. Okay, let's release that. One more. We're going to take the arms into cactus position, feet hip width apart underneath, and then bring your upper arm bones so that they are parallel with the floor. And then we're going to turn our arms nice and slow coming down. And this feels really intense to me, which tells me I probably need to be doing more shoulder flexibility. And then maybe even bringing it up a little bit and down. Bringing it up. See if you can relax your face as you do this. Breathing, just noticing. Maybe this feels super easy for you. That would be great. It's good information. One more time. And exhale. Okay, we are going to find our way down to the ground, and we are going to come onto our side body. We're going to stack our knees, bending them. We're going to bring the bottom hand out, and then the top hand is going to meet it. And let me scoot back so you can see. So my palms are together. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to reach the top hand beyond my bottom fingertips. So I feel a stretch as I'm reaching forward. And then I'm going to hold it. I'm going to breathe. And then notice how that feels. We're protracting that shoulder, moving the shoulder, specifically the shoulder blade away from center line. And then we're going to bring it back to center. And you can take your hand all the way across, and I need to move a little bit, all the way across, and then you're going to bring yourself down, and this is going to be a gentle twist. So just going as far as it feels okay in your spine, bring your arm down, and then extend the arm back behind you if possible. Opening up the front of the shoulder. Take a deep breath in, and then bring the hand to the shoulder, and then come back to where we started. And you could do that a few times if you like. I'm going to switch to the other side. So stacking your hands, remember it is the top hand that slides out beyond the bottom hand. I'm reaching. Hold, take a few breaths. And then slowly bring it back in. You could unwind the body, bringing the shoulder down, extending the arm long. Take a few breaths here. Lift up the palm of the hand, come to the heart, and then come back to our starting position. Okay, we're going to roll over onto our back body, and we're going to bring our feet close to our bottom, and we're going to bring our elbows down and our hands up. So the hands are palms facing each other. I have tension in my hands. I have like my fingers extended. And then I'm going to think about pressing my elbows and my whole upper arm down into the mat. So what I want to do is I want to lift up my chest, walk my elbows in a little bit, squeeze a little bit, and then bring it back down. And you can note that then you're actually more on your shoulders and your chest is more open. So we're going to do this as it relates to bridge. So recenter, just lift yourself up and place it down so that you're just like normal. And then I'm going to plant my feet. I'm going to tuck my tail. I'm going to lift up. And this is a gentle back bend. So I want to be cognizant of how this feels in my low back. I'm squeezing my glutes. Then I'm going to press my arms down. I'm going to lift myself up, and I'm going to walk my shoulders in. And this actually makes it so my heart opens more, just having my elbows pressed down. So this is a good alternative to having the bind, which would be the hands interlaced underneath your bottom. So press, 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 press. Take some deep breaths. And then release. Slowly bring it back down to center. And then lift up your shoulders and place them back down. Okay, let's grab onto the backs of our thighs and come up and into seated. This might be where I could use my strap. So we could just come into cross-legged. I'll turn around so that I can show you this particular stretch with, you could do it with the strap or without the strap. So we're going to bring one arm overhead, and the hand can rest on the back, upper back if possible. If not, just wherever you are with this hand. Then the other hand is going to come around the back, and maybe I could grab onto my fingers and pull them apart. You don't want to hunch forward, and you don't want this to strain your neck. So if you cannot do this without a strap, you just want to go as far as you can, right? And you could just hold it if you're like right here, just hold it right here. Otherwise, you could bring the strap into your top hand and then just drape it down your back body. And then I'm just going to reach the other hand around, and I'm going to hold onto the strap. And maybe I could eventually walk my hands pretty close together, but I'm pulling. So this is an example of a bind where I'm using the strap to get into the bind rather than having my hands touch to one another. Breathing here. Okay, let's release that one. And then let's just check out the other side. So the other arm is on top. Other one comes back, and it's like this side, I can't even touch my fingers. So you might be have a little bit of asymmetry, just like me. And so I use the strap, put it in my top hand, and then I reach around and I grab it and I walk my hands together, keeping my head straight. I don't want to compromise my posture in this pose. So breathing here. And then let's release that. You could move your shoulders, wiggle around, and see how that feels. The other pose that I wanted to do in this practice involves binding the foot and the hand. So I just wanted to demonstrate bringing one leg in, sitting up nice and tall. You might be able to grab onto your shin or grab onto your foot. Now this all has to do with your anatomy, really. We could use the strap to wrap around the ball of the foot, and then I could just extend the leg, and then I'm pulling on that leg, right? So this would be an example of a bind. The other nice one is to move this into the opposite hand. So I have the leg and the hand here, and then I'm going to reach back and I'm going to stretch out the leg to the front, and I'm opening up the chest, and I'm also opening the outside of that leg that's up in the sky. And then take a deep breath in. Let's bring it back to center and release that. Let's try the other side. Now remember, one side might be different than the other. I could grab onto my foot, extend my leg, or I could use the strap. Wrapping it around my foot. I could lift, sitting up nice and straight. I could move the leg, switch to the hand, and then reach my other arm straight back. And then I have a beautiful opening in the other side of the body. Breathe. Okay, Let's bring it back to center. You can release that leg, and we're going to come up and into standing. We're going to finish with a bind that has to do with side angle. And this is a very challenging bind. And so I'm going to use the strap for it because my shoulders are still a little bit tighter than they have tended to be recently. So I'm going to put the strap down. You know, I'm just going to keep it in my hand. I'm just going to keep it in my hand. So I'm going to step to the front of the mat if you're using your strap. And then let's step the left foot back. I'm going to come into Warrior Two. So I have that back foot turned in. The front foot is facing to the front, right? The toes are pointed to the front, and then my knee is bent. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to come into this Warrior Two here, and then we're going to come into side angle right here. And what I want to do is I want to be able to maybe wrap this arm underneath my leg. But before I do that, I'm going to put my hand on my thigh, and then I'm going to take this one that's up in the air and I'm going to wrap it around the back of my body, just like we did previously, right? And then I'm going to let the strap fall from my hand, just part of it, still holding on to it. And then I could reach around, grab hold of the strap, and then twist my upper torso up. So now I am I'm binding, I'm pulling on that strap. Some of you might be able to connect your hands and not have to use the strap. So this is what is called the side angle, extended side angle with the bind. Breathing here. Releasing the strap, coming back up. And just for fun, let's do straightening the front leg and then reaching the arm up and over. And you can keep that arm where it is, the one that's behind the body, and just feel a nice opening of the other side of the body. Nice. Bring it back to center. You could step your foot forward and then switch to the other side. Show it from the back. Coming into Warrior Two, I'm going to have my left foot forward, my right foot is back, and then I'm going to have my arms out. Setting up the stance, I can bring it here and then wrapping my arm around the back body and then drop some of my strap down and then maybe wrapping my body around. Now, one of the things that you want to be very careful about is that you're not like coming forward. You actually want to open up the chest. So make sure that you're not straining to the point where you are falling forward or letting your shoulder move forward. It needs to move back. So this is my extended side angle bind. Breathing. And then take a deep breath in. Let's release it. The hands, keep the hand on the back, straighten the front leg, and reach up and back. That beautiful stretch in the side body. Bending back into the front leg, stepping it forward, and then giving yourself a little shake, a little shimmy, a little bouncy. And then let's just feel into our shoulders one more time, bringing the arms up. Press your shoulders down and then just notice how they feel. How did the shoulders feel? So as you go through your week this week, just notice what it is you want to be able to do in terms of mobility, like being able to reach out or to reach up and get something, or to reach down or to reach behind you, right? So all of this will help to aid you in your mobility, your shoulder health. So thank you for participating. Namaste.